Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another DIY video. This one right here was supposed to be the LA Flare Carpenter Pants DIY video, but as I was making it, a lot of things happened, like a lot of mistakes happened that I actually ended up keeping. And then the overall look with the mistakes that I made on the pants, I just really liked how it looked. And if I were to continue in making those pants into the LA Flare Carpenter Pants, you know how trends are, they die out eventually, and the look of the LA Flares, they're eventually gonna die out, and I want to be able to wear the pants that I made with the mistakes for longer than the trend. Just the color of it, the length of it, the fit of it, the nice taper to the nice little opening of the flare. It looks really dope in my opinion. I want to keep it that way. I don't want to add any like paint splatters or anything. It's just nice and clean the way it is, like that. So in this video, I'll just show you guys how to take in bigger pants and make them your size. These were originally size 38. I'm a size 32 or 33, so I gotta take it down like 5 or 6 inches. How to taper it in from the inseam, as well as add a flare panel to the bottom of the pant legs. Now, I don't know how I'm gonna title that, but that's basically what I'm gonna show you guys in this video. And yeah, let's get into it. So as I said, these pants are a size 38 waist with a dungaree fit, which is way too big for my size 32 waist. This means the first thing we gotta do is take it in so we can actually wear it. In order to do this, we have to add in some darts. And this was the first time I've ever done this type of alteration before, so I will admit that it didn't go as planned at first. Because I wanted to take in the waist by 6 inches, both darts had to be an even 3 inches. Using the middle belt loop as the midpoint, I measured 3.5 inches away from it on either side to mark where the center of the darts will be. I decided to put the darts here because I didn't want to remove the other belt loops, just trying to make my life a little bit easier. I made the length of each dart about 4.5 inches, but because of how much I was taking the waist in, I should have made it longer. Once I marked 2 even lines, I folded the waistband together along the marked lines, sewed it together following the line, and then cut the excess fabric off. Honestly, I'd recommend not cutting any excess fabric off until you're 100% happy with the alteration, but I'm just explaining what I did at the time. Now the silhouette I'm going for is a taper to the knee and then it flares out, just like an hourglass. Usually when I taper pants, I use the outseam, but since I want to keep the cargo pockets intact, I had to use the inseam instead. But before anything else, of course, we gotta extend the length of the pants by removing the hem. There was a hole on one side from natural wear, which is a small detail, but it adds a little something to the overall look. The next step is to remove the front panels, which are held down by stitchings and rivets. I don't know what it's called, but in order to remove them, I used some pliers with like a scissor part and used that to clip the rivet apart. After, I undid the stitches from the inside of the pants until only the side that was attached to the outseam was left. What was pretty cool was when I opened the knee panel, it left the tan of the original color of the pants. It's not as intense, but there for sure is a difference. In order to get a natural tear look, instead of using scissors to cut the rest of the panel off, I used a seam ripper to tear at it, making sure to not make it too symmetrical. I already had a pair of pants that had a nice taper to the knee that I wanted to mimic on these, so I used it as a guide to draw the outline of the taper. Making sure the pants are flat, I pinned it down along the line I drew and then sewed it together. Now when I tried it on, I realized there was a lot of loose fabric on my butt, and that's because I didn't make the darts long enough, like I said earlier. And also, I don't have a butt. So the way I made the darts is good for all the females out there, but in this case, not so much. So to fix this, I extended the darts to about halfway from the center and the outseam of the butt area of the pants. I also made sure to have it go underneath the butt pockets to make it look clean. Now for the flare. I measured the opening of the pants and it came out to 7.5 inches, as you can see in the video. Since I want to make the flare 10 inches, I would have to add on 2.5 inches of fabric. I ended up using the front panels that I cut out to be used as the flare panels. Now since I wanted to add it to the outseam of the pants, and there was no ordinary seam holding the pants together, I figured I'll just cut a straight line along the folded seam, which was a complete mistake. When it comes to adding in clean and flush panels, the main ingredient is having enough seam allowance to attach the fabrics together. With that being said, as you can see, I cut along the folded seam, which gave me no seam allowance because if I folded it, it's just gonna look bad. I figured the best way to salvage this is to sew the pants along the guy lines with black thread and then hand stitch over those lines with thicker black thread to cover them up. When that was done, I think it looked pretty good. The only issue was that on the side that had the folded seam, I didn't realize while I was hand sewing it that the pants fabric was scrunching up, which led to the opening become asymmetrical. At this point, I decided to just move on to the next pant leg because of how time consuming hand stitching was, but I made sure to keep this issue in mind. On the other leg, I tried using a temporary fabric adhesive to keep the fabric stretched out, but that didn't work at all and just made the area I sprayed really stiff. Instead, I sewed in some knots while keeping the fabric stretched and then started the hand stitching process. When I finished, I noticed something didn't look right. The opening, it just looked too small. So I measured it and what do you know, instead of 10 inches as originally planned, it was only 8 inches. I measured the other side and it was the same. Like I literally have no idea how I lost 2 whole inches when I even checked in the video that I measured 7.5 inches. I mean 7.5 plus 2.5 should equal 10, right? But when I tried the pants on, all these mistakes I made actually turned out looking pretty good and I just decided to keep them. But there you guys have it. I just changed my shirt. But hope you guys like the outcome of the pants and you guys learned something from this video. Originally, instead of adding darts, I was gonna do the like shortcut way where I just fold the waistband and sew it down like that. But I'm really glad that I did the dart method because that was the first time I ever did something like that. And I learned a lot from it. Obviously, I made a lot of mistakes. You know, this video is all about mistakes. But in the end, I got it right. And that's how you guys should be doing your projects too. Take risks, make mistakes, and that's how you learn. You know? But I did cop another pair of Carhartt pants and I will be trying it again. I will be trying to recreate the LA flares with these, and these are actually a lot better because these actually are a lot more faded, have a lot more wear than the first pair that I used. And what's good about them, and these smell like smoke by the way, these freaking stink, they fit around the waist. These are already a size 33, which is my size. Try them on. The only problem is these are size 30 length, so hopefully they do fit me when I do extend them or when I do open up the hem at the bottom. But yeah, so if you guys were expecting the LA Flare DIY video, it is still coming. That one, I'll try to make a 1-to-1 replica or whatever. I will be adding paint splatters and blah, 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 all that stuff. And yes, expect that soon, very soon. But to rate the pants, these pants right there, for sure, 11 out of 10. Mistakes all came together, looked really dope. The overall look, the overall silhouette, it just all, I like it a lot. Yes, that's it. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like, hit that sub button too. I'd really appreciate it. 4.65K, so quick. Hit that sub button, I really appreciate it, especially if you guys learned something from this video. Follow me on Instagram as well at Julius Nathan, and my Discord if you guys want to, you know, meet other people who are also interested in DIYing. Join my Discord, say what's up. Everybody's cool there, you know? But anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.